Welcome back to Midlife Awakening. I'm Z, and today we're talking about something every one of us faces at some point: setbacks. Those moments when life feels like it's not just pausing, but pressing pause on your dreams, your plans, your very sense of purpose. Maybe it's a failed relationship, a job that didn't turn out the way you hoped, a financial blow, or even a health scare. Whatever it is, it leaves you quietly asking, "Why me, God?" Here's the truth: setbacks are not the end. They are not a reflection that God has abandoned you or that your story is over. In fact, setbacks are often the setup for something greater. The Bible is full of people who experienced this. Joseph, for example, was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and wrongly imprisoned. That was a huge setback. But in God's perfect timing, that very setback positioned him to save nations. As he said in Genesis chapter 50, verse 20, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." What looked like defeat became destiny. I want you to pause for a moment and think about that. Something intended to harm Joseph, something that could have destroyed him, was transformed by God into a platform for blessing. And if God could do that in Joseph's life, He can do it in yours. It's tempting when we're in the middle of a setback to focus only on what went wrong. We ask, "Why did this happen?" Or, "When will it end?" But God's perspective is different. He often works behind the scenes in ways we don't see yet. Romans 8:28 reminds us that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. That doesn't mean the setback is good in itself, but God can redeem it and use it for something greater. So how do we move from setback to setup? First, we have to acknowledge the pain but refuse to stay stuck in it. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel disappointed. But don't let your setback define you. Instead, ask God, "What are you teaching me through this?" Sometimes setbacks are refining seasons. They stretch our faith, sharpen our character, and deepen our trust in Him. I want you to take a deep breath right now. Ask God quietly in your heart what He wants you to see or learn through your situation. Sometimes the answers don't come immediately, and that's okay. Part of trusting God is learning to wait while He works. Second, look for the seed of opportunity hidden inside the setback. Every closed door points to a God-ordained door waiting to open. Maybe it's a skill you didn't know you had, a relationship you need to strengthen, or a new calling you haven't considered. God often uses the things that feel like failures to prepare us for something we couldn't have imagined. And here's something we often forget: setbacks are never wasted when we let God work in them. Even when life seems to be slowing down, God is letting the stage for the next chapter. He's orchestrating circumstances, connecting people, and positioning you for breakthroughs that align with His purpose. What feels like a pause is actually a divine preparation. I want to ask you a few reflective questions. What setback are you facing right now? How might God be using it to set you up for something greater? What lessons is He teaching you that you might have overlooked? Take a moment in your own time. Even after this episode, sit quietly and listen for His whisper. As we close today, remember this: your story isn't over, and your setback isn't permanent. God can transform every disappointment into a platform for His plan. Lean into Him, seek His wisdom, and let Him guide your next steps. If this episode encouraged you, share it with someone who needs to hear that their setback is actually a setup. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Again, I'm Z, and I look forward to sharing more of God's truth with you in the next episode of Midlife Awakening.